Good morning, warriors. Welcome to Wednesday. I had to think. We didn't come to work on Monday, so my days are backwards. Welcome to Wednesday, everyone, and I am glad you are here watching this video today. I want to talk to you about don't prepare alone, prepare together. I think this is a good one, because there's this mentality of I'm gonna, be a lone wolf, and that's not gonna work. So that's been proven. It's not gonna work. One of the most overlooked aspects of preparedness is community. Community is so important, guys. Many people focus on gear, supplies, and plans, but forget that no one was meant to face hard times alone, right? Prepared warriors intentionally build trusted relationships. At least we should be, right? We should be doing that before things get really, really bad, right? We should be talking to our neighbors, right? Who can check in on us, can check in on them during times of outages, or maybe even just hard times in particular, right? Family members who know the plan and their role. I think we need to teach our family members all about prepping, right? We need to be together in the plan. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. A good place to find community is at church, or maybe faith-based community that so that you can pray for one another, right? You need that spiritual support from other like faith individuals who can uplift each other, right? That's so important because you can pray for each other, you can support each other, and serve together, right? I think that is an important thing. And for us as prepared-minded individuals, we need people who are like that in our life, because two heads are better than one is what I always say, right? Because I don't know everything. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a AC guy. I'm definitely not an electrician. So I need people who have, skills like that, because I don't know. And if I can have people like that in my life that, know that it's a betterment for each other, because what I know, they may not know, and what they know, I probably won't know. And together we can do so much together, right? Isolation weakens preparedness. Think about that. It's a hole in your prep if you're isolated and you're by yourself, right? Community strengthens that, right? If you have community, you're not isolated anymore. You're not by yourself, and you have this uplift for yourself and your preparedness goals, right? From a practical standpoint, shared knowledge multiplies capability, if you think about it in that way, right? Just like I said, one person might have, skills that you don't. And, one might have communication skills. You might not have that. You might not know how to turn on a radio, right? So you got to think about things like that, right? And so together, resilience grows. And so I hope that you guys are thinking in that way, because we truly need to be building community, right? Spirituality, I'm going to go there. God never, designed us to stand alone, right? He didn't create just Adam, or he didn't create just Eve. He didn't create just one kind of animal. He created different kinds of animals. He created man. He created woman. And so, that's how God has designed us. We're not to be alone. Unity brings discernment, right? It brings accountability when fear tries to creep in. I think that's That's pretty awesome to think about. Ask yourself this, right? Who knows my plan? Who could I rely on, and who relies on me? Am I investing in people as much as I am investing in supplies? I think these are critical questions that we can ask ourselves and use them to evaluate. Am I creating community? Are people leaning on me? And am I leaning on others myself, right? I think that's just so important. Preparedness isn't, just about surviving the event. It's about standing together with wisdom, faith, and with purpose, right? When those events arise. And so it's important for us to just build community together. And I hope that you are building community. Share in the comments how you're building community. I would love to see what you're working on. And, maybe you can help somebody in our community who maybe hasn't built community. And what does that look like? For myself, I'm talking with my neighbors and say, how can we help each other, and how can we defend our cul-de-sac if all of a sudden we need to, right? And so, learn the people that are around you. My neighbor, he's a Marine. He's an ex-Marine. So, he's got skills that I don't. And so that's what I'm talking about. Build community where you are. Well, Fernando, that means that I have to, you have to get out a little bit. You don't have to share everything. Don't have to tell them, hey, I'm a prepper. You know what I mean? You just have a conversation. And if it leads to that, praise the Lord. Hopefully, you can build community in that way. So let's talk about it in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts of how you're building community, because I am trying to do that myself, and I want to help people learn how they can be ready. So let's do that together in the comments. All right, guys, have a great day, and hope to see you on the next video. God bless.